You're 18 to 25. Here are 7 skills and knowledge that I have practically implemented that has changed my life so much. So between the ages of 18 to 23, I'm currently 23 years old, between the 5 years I've done so much mistakes, I've done a lot of trials and errors. There were a lot of moments where I have literally kind of turned it around that has helped me basically transform my life for the better and has manifested the better version of who I am basically today. And even though I'm not perfect, here are 7 things that I've basically compiled for you guys, which I personally believe that are super important, especially in the early stages of when you start earning money and basically becoming the person of who you want to become today. Now, the first important principle I want you guys to understand is the high income skills, or essentially the types of knowledge and skills that you accumulate in the early stages, especially when you're working. Now, the point is that you should compound high income skills. Now, in my history or in my previous experience, I have learned so many different types of skills. I always wanted to learn how to code. I started coding. I did graphic design, websites, I did e-commerce, I did video editing, I did Microsoft Excel sheets. I did so many different types of skills, and the problem was that a lot of these skills were so specific within their space, I couldn't really utilize them for my purpose, which I have today, and that is basically running a business. Now, my point for this principle is that you should accumulate or essentially compound a set of skills that are relevant to your business. Now, if you guys are fancy, starting your own business or always wanted to enter the corporate life, then you should accumulate an abundance of skills that are relevant to that industry. For example, in my current business where I'm doing SMMA and teaching people about personal brand, I always was a huge fan of coding, and I learned coding. I learned how to do Python, but I never really practically implemented it, and that was the problem because I spent a lot of time, months and months, learning how to code, and at the end of the day I didn't really use it. So that was kind of a waste, but at the same time it was a good learning curve for me to also realize, okay, maybe I should dive into different types of skills which are relevant to what I want to basically create for my business. And yeah, so that was basically the principle. The principle is to compound high income skills, so basically skills that are super relevant and super impactful for your business. Number 2, get a gym membership. Now, I specifically chose the words like this to choose or to get a gym membership instead of basically saying become physically fit, because a lot of gurus and a lot of family, friends and people out there, basically people who will always tell you, oh, get into shape, become physically fit, look more attractive. Now, I can do the same thing, but the reason why I said get a gym membership is because if you get a gym membership, there is a financial burden. So you basically pay monthly for a gym membership. So one, that financial burden gives you more of a reality check, if that's correct. That's how I like to phrase it, because you realize, shit, I'm actually paying for a gym membership, so there's a financial burden. So there's more of a push factor of me actually going to the gym. Additionally, in the gym, not only are you actually doing these exercises by yourself, but within the gym there is an entire ecosystem of other gym nerds in there, and basically a community of other people who also want to become physically fit. And that psychological effect, which I like to call FOMO, of other people literally just training in the gym, also creates another push factor for you. So get a gym membership. Wherever you are within your area, I recommend areas where you have a walking distance, so that you can don't need to find the hassle of driving to places far ahead. But getting a gym membership and just in generally become physically fit is the most attractive, I would say, way for you to level up as a person, if that makes sense. Number 3, and this is something that I literally learned the hard way, and it's something that I want you guys to understand, that the sleep routine So your routines for sleeping is more important than your eating routine. Now let me explain this, because this is quite of a controversial one. I realized through the hard ways that essentially if I can specialize or enhance my sleeping routine, even if I kind of lack or fluctuate in my eating routines, at least I have proper amount of sleep. Now if you guys, and that comes to the previous point, if you guys are in a gym membership or getting physically fit, even though you guys somehow slack when it comes to eating healthy foods, if your sleeping routine is on point, then at least there are some long-term gains you can. Because let's say the other way around, if you guys don't have a healthy sleep routine, however your food routine is good, so you guys eat healthy food the whole time, the effect won't be as good. Because even though you eat a lot of food, a lot of healthy food, if you don't get enough amount of sleep, your body won't be able to do much with the food, right? But if it's the other way around, if you guys have a good sleep routine, even though you eat, let's say, junk food on certain days, then if your sleep is good, you'll be able to kind of tackle with that unhealthy food, if that makes sense. It's a bit difficult to put it into words, but I hope you guys understand the point. Number 4, a personality test. Now this is super important, and it's a test that I've done when I was around 19 years old, 20 years old, because I want you guys to realize that as a young man or as a young woman, as a young adult, before you guys enter or kind of go into the space where you basically build the person you are today, I want you guys to understand who you are as a person first. Because like, who are you supposed to build into? Like, who do you want to be if you don't know who you are right now, if that makes sense? So a personality test is the fastest way for you to basically find out who you are as a person right now. So obviously there are different types of models, different types of tests you guys can do, but they are, 1, not so expensive, and number 2, very quickly for you to do. And again, there are some free models out there which you guys can basically do right now, but having a personality test will give you that overview, that oversight of who you are as a person, so that once you realize, damn, okay, this is me as a person, then you know, okay, where can I work myself to become a better version of who I am now? Does that make sense? Number 5, control your emotions. Now this is something that even today, I struggle with a lot, and it's basically controlling your emotions. And it's easier said than done, because there are a lot of practices and a lot of routines and micro habits which you have to set up for yourself so that you can control your emotions. Now, the idea of stoicism has, I would say, been rejuvenating for the past few years already. So the idea of becoming stoic and, you know, channeling your emotions in different areas has become so popular that I believe a lot of people kind of misconceptualize it. A lot of people believe that stoicism is actually more about suppressing your emotions and not showing them, but it is absolutely garbage, because if you're a stoic, you are actually channeling your energy and reutilizing your energy in areas which are more suitable for its appropriate nature of its emotion, if that makes sense. So basically the idea here is not to suppress your emotions, not to find ways to avoid it, and in fact, in contrary, you are trying to express your emotions even more, but in areas where it's more appropriate. Now, if you're young, obviously we are emotional in many ways, you know, things don't look great for us all the time, which I understand, but finding ways to control your emotions in the sense of utilizing your emotions when it's appropriate is so much more effective. And in many examples, which I don't want to basically dive into, but if you control your emotions as a person, I can guarantee you guys that there are a lot of benefits that come with it. Faith with religion. Now, obviously we live in the modern era, and the idea of religion and the principles of religion is quite sensitive nowadays. And for me personally, I go by this motto: I don't care what type of religion you believe in, as long as you believe in a religion. Now, that doesn't again have to be, you know, some singular figure of God, but I personally, I'm a Muslim and I believe in the universe and the creator, etc., etc. But the reason why I believe it's so important is because the moment you have faith in God and the universe, then you will have faith in the process that comes with it. And that's the keyword, process. Now, every single type of decision or any single type of development you go through, there has to be some type of process. Now, for me personally, process is essentially patience plus consistency equaling to the desired result of you want. Now, if you guys, for example, do sports, or you do business, or you're starting a business, or you're working in a company, you'll always hear that people say trust the process, and it can't be more true. It's literally trusting, becoming patient, that the results that you, all the hard effort, all the results that are yielded by your hard efforts, that for it to eventually come through is on the surface level, trusting the process. Now, if you have a faith in God, or if you have faith in the universe, then this principle or this philosophical theory will make it a bit more understandable. But if you in essence believe in the universe and in the mechanism of how it works, then you will understand that over time, if you trust the process, eventually your hard work will yield into the desired results you want. Just be patient. Last but not least, credit, I have to look down on this, credit score and EPF. Now, I'm in Malaysia, and when I was very young, I was always a fan of gigs, or let's say like all these freelancer jobs, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? Don't get me wrong, but if you get your credit score up, and if you get your EPF, and EPF is basically pension in Malaysia, up, there are a lot of benefits that you can enjoy from it. Now, credit score is obviously very important. If you guys are into banking, you will elaborate this a little bit more, but credit score is important from anything that has to do with your loans, with cars, getting a rent, you know, borrowing money for the bank for business, like whatever it is. Having a credit score and leveling a credit score up very early is very beneficial for you. And if you guys obviously increase your credit score by, you know, participating in jobs, or, you know, getting your EPFs paid, or, you know, like working in corporate so that your credit score goes up, that is the point. So get your credit score up, whatever the method is, get your credit score up so that you can enjoy benefits, especially when you borrow money from the bank, and stuff just gets so much easier for you in the future. And EPF is obviously the pension part of it. In Malaysia, we have this beauty that from time to time, when in vulgar terms shit gets hard, then the government actually allows you to withdraw some, you know, some percentage of your pension, and that is a great benefit for you, because in hard times, if you're going through some shit, then EPF is literally the rescue. Now, I experienced this moment, especially during the COVID times, where I was struggling as hell. We were not getting paid, and salaries were not on time, and I couldn't pay my bills. And then the government decided, hey, you know what, you can withdraw your EPF, and that was literally the lifesaver for me. So the last was to basically get your EPF and your credit score up. Now, these 7 skills, guys, just to sum it all up, were the 7 skills that has helped me become the person I am right now. And I am obviously a professional footballer, and I've enjoyed a lot of wonderful experiences on this world. So I hope that these 7 skills or knowledge has essentially helped you in this video. So if not, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.